20 foods wreaking havoc on your precious kidney. Are you unknowingly harming your kidneys with everyday foods? Today, we reveal the 20 commonly used foods that wreak havoc on your kidneys. Every bite matters when it comes to protecting your kidney health, so make you know what you're putting in your body. 20. Soda. Let's start with something many of us enjoy but might not realize its impact. Soda. Yes, that bubbly, sugary drink might be satisfying your taste buds, but it's doing no favors for your kidneys. Soda is essentially a calorie bomb, offering no real nutritional value, just 12 ounces. Can of cola packs around 152 calories, and in some places, that's considered a small serving. Shocking, right? But it doesn't stop there. Soda consumption has been linked to various health issues, including kidney disease. And don't even get me started on diet sodas. Sure, they're low in calories, but they're loaded with artificial sweeteners, which can also pose risks to your kidneys. 19. Artificial sweeteners. Speaking of artificial sweeteners, let's delve into that a bit deeper. Some studies have hinted at a possible connection between artificial sweeteners and kidney damage. In fact, some artificial sweeteners like saccharin have been associated with increased kidney weight in studies involving rats. Moderation is key when it comes to consuming these sugar substitutes commonly found in diet beverages and low-calorie foods. While research is still going on, until further research provides clearer insights, it's best to limit our intake of artificial sweeteners. After all, it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to our kidney health. 18. High-salt foods. Let's now turn our attention to another culprit in our diets: high-salt foods. Did you know that salt could spell trouble for your kidneys in more than one way? Excessive salt intake can raise your blood pressure, a known risk factor for kidney disease. Not only that, excess salt intake can also lead to calcium loss in urine, potentially contributing to kidney stone formation. To protect our precious kidneys, it's essential to cut back on these high-salt options and opt instead for fresh, whole foods with naturally lower sodium levels. 17. Canned foods. One of the most commonly used high-salt foods is the canned foods we use. Sodium, a key component of salt, is often added generously to canned foods to preserve them and enhance their taste. But here's the catch. If your kidneys are not working appropriately, kidneys struggle to eliminate excess sodium effectively. This means it's crucial for individuals with chronic kidney disease to steer clear of or limit their intake of canned goods like soups, vegetables, and beans. That's not all, though. Canned foods often contain higher levels of BPA, bisphenol A, a chemical linked to kidney damage and other health issues. The good news? Opting for canned foods labeled low sodium and rinsing the contents under water before consumption can significantly reduce the amount of sodium you consume. 16. Frozen meals. Next, let's talk about another convenience trap: frozen meals. Studies suggest that processed foods, like frozen pizzas and microwavable dinners, may contribute to the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Why? Because they're often loaded with hidden sugars, sodium, and unhealthy fats. Not only that, frozen meals can sometimes be high in phosphorus additives as well, which can negatively impact kidney function if consumed regularly. But not all frozen meals are created equal. If convenience is your top priority, be sure to read the labels carefully. Look for options labeled low sodium or no sodium added, and steer clear of those with added sugars, fillers, or other additives. 15. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs. Moving on. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs. While technically not food, these medications, like ibuprofen, can spell disaster for your kidneys if used regularly or in high doses, which is why we had to include them in our list. 14. Whole wheat bread. Next on our list is whole wheat bread. Now, whole wheat bread is often praised for its health benefits, but in people with already compromised kidneys, its high phosphorus and potassium content can pose a problem. Whole wheat bread also contains phytates, which can bind with minerals like calcium and magnesium, affecting their absorption and kidney health. If you can't resist whole wheat bread entirely, try reducing your intake to manage phosphorus and potassium levels more effectively. 13. Dark-colored drinks. Next, dark-colored drinks. Many manufacturers add phosphorus to dark sodas and beers to enhance flavor and prolong shelf life. Unfortunately, this additive form of phosphorus is highly absorbable by the human body and isn't recommended for those looking after their kidney health. 12. High-potassium fruits. While fruits are generally considered a healthy option by all standards, some might affect your kidneys, especially if your kidneys are already weak. Avocados. Take avocados, for example. They're quite high in potassium. Just one medium avocado contains about 975 milligrams of potassium, well above the recommended limit for those with kidney concerns. If you love avocados, don't worry. You can still enjoy them by reducing portion sizes significantly to manage potassium intake effectively. Bananas. Another high potassium fruit is bananas. They're a popular fruit, but a large banana can pack around 487 milligrams of potassium, making it a no-go for people with impaired kidney function. Instead, consider opting for fruits like pineapples, which have lower potassium content compared to bananas and other tropical fruits. Oranges and orange juice. Oranges and orange juice are also high in potassium. If you're looking for alternatives, consider fruits like grapes, apples, and cranberries, which are lower in potassium. Dried fruits. Similarly, dried fruits are concentrated sources of nutrients found in fresh fruits, making it easier to exceed recommended daily intakes. If you're following a renal diet, it's best to avoid dried fruits like apricots, dates, prunes, and raisins, which are all high in potassium. 11. Brown rice. Moving on, let's talk about grains. Brown rice, while nutritious, has higher phosphorus and potassium content compared to white rice. A cup of cooked brown rice contains about 149 milligrams of phosphorus and 94.6 milligrams of potassium, whereas the same amount of cooked white rice contains significantly less. If you're looking for alternatives to brown rice, consider bulgur, buckwheat, or couscous, which are lower in potassium and phosphorus. 10. Dairy products. Dairy products, despite being promoted for bone health, can be problematic for those with impaired kidney function due to their natural phosphorus and potassium content. For example, a cup of whole milk contains 205 milligrams of phosphorus and 322 milligrams of potassium. Excess phosphorus can lead to hyperphosphatemia, causing the body to pull calcium from bones, resulting in weak bones. To manage this, individuals following a renal diet should limit dairy intake. Coconut milk can be a suitable alternative due to its lower potassium, sodium, and oxalate content. 9. Processed meats. Did you know that processed meats can contain high levels of advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which have been linked to kidney damage? Cold cuts like bologna and ham are high in sodium and nitrates, which have been linked to health risks including cancer. Instead of processed meats, opt for leaner protein sources like poultry, fish, or plant-based proteins. These alternatives not only provide essential nutrients, but also support a kidney-friendly diet. By making informed choices in protein selection, individuals can actively contribute to maintaining kidney health while enjoying a diverse and balanced diet. 8. Pickles, olives, and relish. Another item you might not know is bad for your kidneys is fermented foods like pickles. These contain a compound called tyramine, which can increase blood pressure and potentially impact kidney function. They are also high in sodium, giving you all the more reasons to be cautious. 7. Bran cereals, oatmeal, and granola. Moving on to cereals like bran flakes, oatmeal, and granola, these breakfast staples often contain a mix of potassium, phosphorus, and sodium, making them less than ideal for those on a renal diet. For example, a small serving of bran flakes can pack a significant amount of potassium, phosphorus, and sodium, which can be problematic for individuals with kidney concerns. Consider opting for kidney-friendly alternatives for your morning meal. 6. Potatoes. Potatoes, including sweet potatoes, are nutrient-rich vegetables, but are also high in potassium, making them bad for your kidneys. But here's something you might not know. There's a way around it, and it's called leaching. Leaching is a technique to reduce the potassium content in potatoes. By soaking or boiling potatoes in water before cooking, you can reduce their potassium content by at least 50%. This method can be beneficial for those managing potassium intake due to kidney issues. 5. Mayonnaise and butter. Now let's talk about mayonnaise and butter. Mayonnaise is high in calories and saturated fat, which may not be the best choice for those watching their kidney health. Consider swapping mayo with plain non-fat Greek yogurt, a healthier alternative rich in protein. Similarly, butter is high in saturated fat and cholesterol. Opt for healthier spreads like canola or olive oil, which are lower in calories and saturated fat. 4. Processed and fast foods. Processed foods, including pizza, instant noodles, and microwave meals, are convenient but often loaded with high levels of salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats. Fast foods often contain high levels of monosodium glutamate, MSG, which can increase blood pressure and stress the kidneys. 3. pretzels, chips, and crackers. Next, let's talk about something the snacking industry doesn't want you to know. Snack foods like pretzels and chips can be high in acrylamide, a compound that may be linked to kidney cancer risk. Not only that, they are often high in sodium and low in essential nutrients as well. Chips in particular are derived from potatoes and therefore also contain significant amounts of potassium. 2. Swiss chard, spinach, and beet greens. Here's a fun little fact that might surprise you. Even though green leafy vegetables like Swiss chard, spinach, and beet greens are considered super healthy, in individuals with CKD, they are usually not recommended due to their high potassium content. For instance, a cup of raw Swiss chard contains about 136 milligrams of potassium. When these vegetables are cooked, they shrink in size, which means a person may end up consuming more compared to eating them raw. 1. Caffeine and alcohol. Lastly, let's talk about something you might have had the suspicion of affecting your kidneys: caffeine and alcohol. Moderate consumption of caffeine and alcohol is generally considered safe, but excessive intake can lead to dehydration, which can strain the kidney's ability to filter waste effectively. Both caffeine and alcohol act as diuretics, meaning they increase urine production, which can lead to fluid loss. Dehydration can strain the kidneys, impacting their ability to effectively filter and excrete waste products. To support optimal kidney function, it's important to maintain a balance in the consumption of caffeine and alcohol. This includes ensuring adequate hydration by increasing water intake.